Hello, my name is Anna Tayez, and I will now be presenting my video project for world literature, Prophecies and the Way, Destiny through Chuang Chao and Sakuntala. Making everyday decisions and being at the right place at the right time is all too common amongst humans. The actions taken daily by humans have effects on themselves, as well as others, which later cause more effects, leading towards an unavoidable butterfly effect. A simple indecision thought of breakfast or no breakfast is going to lead to a consequence. Now, this consequence can be positive or negative. Once a decision is made, actions are taken, and again, a potential positive or negative consequence occurs. Because your decisions and actions affect those around you, this creates a butterfly effect, which changes everyone's lives. The question we are here to answer is this: is fate real, or are things simply a coincidence? Characters in both Chuang Chao and Kalidasa's Sakuntala emphasize the reality of fate through their dialogue and their experiences with life. For summary, Sakuntala is a story with a happy ending between two lovers, a king and a celestial nymph's daughter. They face multiple unfortunate events, a curse, the loss of an item, loss of love, and yet they find their way to one another and live their lives being a happy family. Chuang Chao's work deals with his definition of the way, the natural order to things, showing how everything explains itself without needing explanation, that everything has a match. We are going to be revisiting these quotes further on in the presentation. Now, important observations I noted during the reading of both works was the repetition of omens. Dusyanta mentions one before meeting Sakuntala in her hermitage. He said he feels a false omen of love, page 755. A second one is mentioned by Sakuntala before she will revisit her husband, knowing he wouldn't recognize her after the sage caused his memory loss. Now, a third one is mentioned after the king sees the ring and his memories return in hopes of having Sakuntala accept him once again. Now, all these omens, despite an omen being either positive or negative, show negatively throughout the reading. These example unfortunate events that were created through the actions they both made from the beginning. Dusyanta's hunting outside the hermitage, Sakuntala making the sage unhappy, causing his anger, and Dusyanta not approaching Sakuntala as soon as he was shown the ring. Another important thing that was shown was the juxtaposing of words in both readings. On page 761 in Sakuntala, Kalidasa has Buffon say, "As luck would have it, an aesthetic's daughter called Sakuntala caught his eye. What a fate." Luck deals with chance, while fate is predetermined, showing two sides to an event that could be interpreted whichever which way by the reader. In Chuang Chao's work, he focuses heavily on right versus wrong, and how anyone can know what is actually right versus what is actually wrong. He's showing that there's a balance between the two, a connection. And lastly, imagery is shown heavily through nature in both readings. Sakuntala is very in tune with the nature around her. She even considers the vine forest light to be her sister, and this is shown on page 779. In Chuang Chao's work, he compares a human struggle with that of a monkey and several other animals, later explaining how he viewed himself as a butterfly, showing the connection through all living creatures. Now, to understand Sakuntala, the play was written to establish an emotional harmony to the audience by showing underlying correspondence that reconcile the apparent conflicts of existence, page 747. As described, the underlying correspondence can be identified as a destiny all the characters already face from the beginning of the play. The topic of Taoism is heavily present in Chao's work, showing the interconnection between all beings, two parts to a whole that operate life naturally, including birth and death, this and that, and etc. On to analysis of the quotes previously shown in the presentation. These first two quotes of Sakuntala say, "The marriage of forest light to her tree makes her long to have a husband too." And, "When I see him, why do I feel an emotion that the forest seems to forbid?" Page 757. Now, what are the odds of her vine sister getting married and her then wanting a husband as soon as Dusyantas enters her hermitage? The next quote says, "If fate accomplished it so quickly, Father Canva won't object." Page 774. This is in reference to their secret marriage. The quote mentions fate, and further on in the play, Sakuntala's father gives blessing to their marriage. Now, both quotes show indication that fate is heavily present and is orchestrated for their inevitable happy ending. The next quotes displayed are from Chao's reading. The first quote says, "That comes out of this, and this depends on that," which is to say that this and that give birth to each other. But where there is birth, there must be death. Where there is death, there must be birth. Page 559. This basically explains Taoism, the two halves to one whole idea. Everything has its match. Death has birth, start has finish, right has wrong, etc. The second quote says, with everything they meet, they become entangled, on page 558. This shows the interconnection between everything and its inevitable effect on one another. Final answer to the question, is fate real or are things simply a coincidence? Fate is real and is a predetermined destiny everyone faces, whether approved of or not. Sakuntala experiences fate through her journey of finding love with Dushyanta, and Chow experiences fate through all decisions, explanations, and perspectives shown by everything. Everything goes by the way, the natural order to life. I leave you with food for thought with this last statement. With fate comes inevitability. The lives of everyone are planned out and all decisions decided. Both right and wrong affect all, making everyone intertwined and involved with one another. Thank you.